Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Dream of Crafts, and my name is Deanna, and today we'll be working on video number 3 for our Graphic 45 Fairy Dust mini album explosion box. So this is going to be our next part that we put in, and this flips up. Then you have a band here that slides over, and then you can slide it off, and then this side opens like this. This is just my prototype, and this side will open like this. And then the center we have a flip up, and that also is a pocket. So that's what we're going to be putting together. We'll put it together first, and then we'll add it to the album. Okay? So, nope, let's just, yeah. Let's do that. I think we only have one to put together. So let's go ahead and do that. And these are your 2 center flaps here. So let's just go ahead and put those together right now. So you're going to need 2 pieces, and I used 8.5 by 11 heavy cardstock from Hobby Lobby. So you're going to need 2 pieces cut at 9.5 wide by 6 7/8 inch high. One's going to go on your left side, one's going to go on your right side. Okay, so these are already pre-cut. On your scoreboard for both of these, you're going to score at 1/2 of an inch. 1/2 of an inch and 5/8 of an inch. You're either going to score at 5 inches. Mine already scored, so I don't want to press real hard. And 5 1/8 inch. Okay, so do that to both. 1/2 inch, 5/8 inch, 5 inch, and 5 1/8 inch. Again, your measurements are 9.5 wide by 6 7/8 inch high. And then your next piece for both of those are, goodness gracious, 6 7/8 inch high by 4 5/8 inch wide, and you are going to score, you need 2 of those, and you're going to score those at 1/2 inch. So both of those get scored at 1/2 inch. Again, the measurements are 6 7/8 high by 4 5/8 inch wide. Okay, we'll go ahead and put those together. So it's going to be like this. This one, your 1/2 inch and your 5/8 inch, is going to be your glue down part to the main part of the book. Your 6 7/8 by 4 5/8 is going to get glued right to that other side there. Okay? And what we end up with is 2 1/8 inch gussets on this, and that will help for any thicknesses. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. You can use tape or whatever method you prefer. This is just my favorite way to attach things. I find it less expensive than the tapes, and I don't have to worry about if they dry out and become non-sticky later on for somebody. Alright, so I'm going to line up my, line up my left hand corner, bottom and top there. Just like that. Make sure I'm lined up good. Looks good. Press it down. Give it a good seal. There we go. Alright, so then that will be attached like that, and that will fold up just like that. My writing is going to be upside down. That doesn't bother me. This is going to get covered with decorative cardstock, so I just want to make sure that that is. It looks like I'm a tiny bit off there, so I'm just going to take my scissors. I don't know if you can see that. Just a tiny bit, and I'm just going to kind of do it on an angle so it's not so obvious there. There we go. That'll work. Alright. So that's one side. Let's take our other one. Again, this is the 1/2 inch and the 5/8 inch side. This is going to be the one that attaches down to the book itself. we're going to take our other piece that's 6 7/8 inch long, and we're going to glue that to the other end of that. I've been working on quite a few items for the center display of this. So we'll get, as soon as we get this done, then we'll go on to that. Again, I'm going to line up on my left-hand corner there, and I know black on black is hard to see, and that is longer than that. Did I cut this at 7 inches accidentally? I sure did. Let me trim that off. Sorry about that. No biggie, we got it. So let's reline that back up again. And put that on. Okay. All right. Perfect. Good. All right. I'm not folding that. So let's go ahead and grab our explosion box. I'm going to get all this stuff out of my way for a second. And we're going to put it together in order. So the last time I left off, I said something about maybe cutting a hole in the box for a window. So I did. I cut. And I like it. I really do. So, and I'll have a nice big window in there. And what I did was I had a box in the craft room and just took the lid. You could take the box too, and I sat it on there when it was open, drew around it with my pencil, and then cut it out with a like a big blade, just a regular razor blade type thing. And that was a lot easier than doing a circle, because I ended up with straight edges to cut and didn't have to worry about trying to keep a circle nice clean lines. So, and I just like the shape. I think it looks nice on there. So you could do any shape you wanted. You could do a square or whatever, or just cut out a rectangle or a design of your own and create it. So that is what I came up with. And I'm going to be doing some other things to this too. So let's go ahead and open this up. As you remember, we have our side with the buckle. We have our side with the other part we put together. Now we have our window side here, which we will do much to, and then we have this empty spot here, and that's where we're going to put our next piece. Let's see if I can organize and get this set aside so you can see, and I can see, and work on it. Let's see, I might have to put these up in the air. There we go. Let me widen this out here a little bit. See if you can see it better. There, I think that will work. Okay, and like before, we're going to draw a 1/2 inch edge around on our paper here, just so we know exactly where we're going to be. We have to keep that 1/2 inch edge so when we come inside that we don't have edges butting up against each other. So we're going to go right to the outside of that, the black part. I draw a line. There we go. Do the same thing on all 4 sides. Actually, I don't have to worry about the top, because if I use the bottom edge, I'll be automatically 1/2 inch. So, and it's hard to see that top part because of my extra 1/8 of an inch wide spot there. So I'm just gonna use this bottom line, and that should be a 1/2 inch up there too automatically, because our pieces are 7 inches. So we're gonna start with, oops, I gotta get my pieces out of here. Let's see if I can grab them. There we go. I have everything pre-cut and ready to go just to make it a little less time consuming for you guys. There's one. Two. All right. So this is my center flip. This is 7 inches wide by 7 3/4 high. We're going to take our scoreboard and we're going to score that at 1/2 inch and again at 3/4 inch. That will give us a good 1/4 inch gusset. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I did score 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. It's going to give us a nice gusset. All right, we're going to fold that over. Get a nice crease. All right. We're going to use the bottom line there. And we're going to glue that down. Okay. Now I'm going to fold down just my 1/2 inch to glue down because I don't want to wreck my gusset. So, goodness sakes, here we go. When things get so big that it's hard to manage the space. All right. You choose what kind of adhesive you want to use. I find some people are more comfortable with some than others. So again, I'm going to line up down here, center that, and then I'm going to hold it with my hand just like that, and then press it down. And I want this on the bottom, and then the other ones can be right on the top. Okay, now I'm going to recreate that gusset. I almost wish, you know what? Can I pull that back up? I might have to cover that up with something else. Yeah, I'm going to drop that down. All right, we'll figure out, we'll put a decorative piece there. I'm going to glue that 1/2 inch down, but I'm going to allow my gusset to show because otherwise I'm not a 1/2 inch down. All right, so I'm going to get my gusset up here. Now I'm going to line up this with that at the 1/2 inch. Hold it, bring that in just like that. Okay. I'm going to gently lift it up, get my fingers under there. There we go. Now we should be pretty close to that. There we go. That'll look better. We'll just add a decorative piece down there. Cover up that mistake. All right. So now when it stands up, it's right at that edge where it needs to be. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we're going to lift that up. And then goes our other two pieces here. And they're going to get glued on here. Why does that look so... Oh, they do look up. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move this up so we can glue this down. Again, we want to be careful not to damage our gussets. So I'm going to fold just my 1/2 inch over there. I'm going to come up against my edge here with my 1/2 inch part. So my gusset is actually on the top here. I can see the whole thing. Pretty even. Go ahead and put that down. Open it all the way up. Make sure we got that. Here we go. Perfect. And then that'll fold up just like that. And we've got nice little 1/8 inch gusset on each one of these. So we don't have to worry about our thicknesses. And the reason I went 1/4 inch here is because once you get your pocket and your gussets for both of these, I think you're going to need it. So, plus any of your decorative paper and any embellishments we decide to add. I'm going to take our right side here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that gusset is facing me on the top. I hope my volume is up high enough. You know, I had one of my videos, one of the girls said she couldn't hear me very good. So hopefully, and sometimes you got to turn up the volume on your actual video part in YouTube that you're watching, right up on the video itself, rather than just your volume on your computer or your device, whatever you're watching. Again, we're lining that up along that bottom. I'm going to press that down. A little crooked there. There we go. You want to be nice and straight. Want that to line up with that other one. Just like that. Perfect. I'm going to put that down. Open it up. Let's put it down again. There we go. And then we can close this one up too. Here we go. Got that. We got that. And we'll put our band on last, okay? All right. Now we're going to add our pocket. Down at the bottom here, our pocket is 4 3/8 inch high and 7 7/8 inch wide. We are going to score that at 1/2 inch. And again at 7 7/8. 1/2 inch, 7 7/8. Okay, 4 3/4 inch high by 7 7/8 wide, and you are scoring on the 7 7/8 inch side. Let's get that a little. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Back in there. Okay. So we'll put glue on each one of our tabs here. We're going to run a little bead right along the bottom there to seal this up. There we go. Okay. We're going to center that right between our score lines. You're going to have about a 1/16 of an inch on each side before your other score lines there. Whoops. And probably not even that much. It should line up perfect right with your score lines, actually. You'll have your score line. You won't be going over, but it's going to be right up to it, okay? All right. So let's give that a press. Make sure it's glued down good. Perfect. Again, we'll just do a test here. We're good. You're still in view. All right. So now we have a piece that is 9 1/8 inch wide, or high actually, because it's going to go this way. So it's 9 1/8 inch high by 6 7/8 inch wide, because that's the width of our pocket. And we're going to score that at 1/2 inch and 4 7/8. 1/2, 4 7/8. Again, your size is 9 1/8 by 6 7/8. And always check your scraps first before you cut a whole other sheet of paper. You are more than welcome to use 12 by 12s. I was using the 8.5 by 11 because I wanted the heavy cardstock. All right, so this is going to be our flip. So this is actually going to tuck right inside there. All right, and we're going to glue right to the top edge of our pocket there. And we are going to add more things to these. This is just the base of each one. We are going to be adding some more little flips and decorative things onto all of 3 of these to create more little tuck spots and tags and picture spots. But for right now, we're just getting the base of each one done. Okay, open that up. All right. So now we've got a flip, we've got a pocket, we've got our 2 spots that open on the left and the right. Okay. And that gives us space here too. So you got 3 here and 3 here on each side. See how now with the thickness of your pocket and those, when you close this, see, it's going to be just perfect. See that? It's going to be just perfect. All right. And I was going to add a ribbon there, and I forgot. Let me see. You know what? I think I can get the ribbon on top of my pocket here, because that's going to get decorated anyway. So let's do that now before I forget again. This is just some sheer black ribbon here that I got. And it is, oh, I had the paper here, but everything gets moved around. Oh, here it is. It's just Bella trims. And you get just, it's the wedding and other special paper craft projects. You get velvet, you get satin, and you get this sheer in there. So that is what I'm using for ribbon. All right, so let's go ahead and put a piece down in here. So I'm going to get some double-sided tape, just so it's a better way to adhere it. And I'll put some on the bottom and on the top to cover it up. All right, and I can measure the center here, just to make sure. We'll get really close here. All right, so let's figure. It's going to be easier to figure 7 inches. So we're going to go to our lines for 7 inches. All right, just like that. And 3.5. Oh, right there. Pretty good eyeball in there. All right. There we go. This is 3.5. So let's go ahead and put mark right here, just so I can see that easier. All right. When I put my next part down. All righty. So let's put that on there, right in the center of that. And I don't need a lot. I don't need the whole thing of that. I can always trim it after we're done. I want enough. Let me measure that for you so you can see about how much I think about. It's probably about 6 inches there. Um, 7.5. 7.5 inches. So let's just cut this one the same. Start close to it. There we go. And I want to sear these edges here, so I'm going to take my lighter and sear that shut. You can do that with your satin ribbons too. There we go. And I'm going to sear the one shut that I'm not using. Just helps keep it from fraying. I'm going to add another piece of score tape to the top of that piece there, so I don't have it sticking to everything. But I don't want it to. Take my scissors and cut that flat here a second. There we go. All right, we're just going to put that on top of there. Okay, there's one. All right, and we're going to close this and close these here. Close that. Boy, I hope that's long enough. What I think it might be, because we're going to come down like that. Okay. I'm going to cut one just a little bit longer, just to make sure I have enough. So, rather than take a chance. Middle. Okay. I'm just going to stick this on there on the top of my flap. And that's probably a good 12 inches high. Get another piece, put it on the top of that. So we don't have that sticking to anything we don't want it to. There we go. All right, now let's create our band. Now I've got a scrap piece here that's 4 inches wide, and I don't even know what it is long. It was 8.5 inches long, so those are my scraps. So I'm going to cut that in half at 2 inches. See? There we go. And we're going to, let's see, just going to score, let me see, let me get that about even, let me see here. Let's see what that is there. Okay, let's do 3/4 of an inch. Score that 3/4 of an inch on one edge there, okay? And then we'll do the same on this one. Score that 3/4 of an inch on one edge. Okay. And then we also want, I think, let's give it an 1/8 of an inch gusset. So let's go 1/2 inch and 5/8 inch, okay? Let's just give it its own little gusset just to make sure it has enough room to slide up and down. Oops, sorry. Not. All right, we're at 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch. I'm sorry. What am I doing? Oh, I did give it. All right, so 3/4 of an inch and 7/8. That's what we want. 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 and 7/8. Okay. All right. That'll give us plenty of room there. I don't want it too loose. So 3/4 of an inch and 7/8. All right. So now one end is going to get glued down to the other. Let me see here if I did this right. I have a feeling I did not. Okay, so this is going to go here. Like that. Oops, I'm inside my pocket. So we got that. Right. So we're going to rescore this because we want all right, so I've got this. I'm going to mark this one here, okay, because this is going to get bent too. Let's see here. I want that to have enough glue down there. All right, so that's going to get trimmed. Is that going to be enough to slide? Okay, so we're going to trim this off a little bit, I think. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Okay. I made my other one. I just folded and bent it. So maybe that's what I should do with these. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to glue this side to there. So pick 1 3/4 of an inch edge and glue this down, saving your gusset. So your gusset's here. Okay. Now we're going to slide this in, not in our pocket. Want to come out. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this over. So this one I'm folding over, okay? Kind of creating its own gusset there. And then this one, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to mark it here. And then I'm going to fold it over and create a gusset on that one, okay? So right here. So we're going to only do a gusset on one at 3/4 of an inch and 7/8. The other one we're just going to bend it to fit. And then we're going to glue it down there. So we got that. Got that. Okay. Use the scoreboard to make that more definite there. And it looks like I just made my mark just more definite with the scoreboard there. Let's see how that turns out. Nice crooked. Okay. And I'll tell you how to do this easier. The easiest way to do it is going to be to glue your 2 pieces together and then bend it, okay? So then you don't have to worry about it, okay? I want to make sure this has room to slide. I don't want this tight at all. And that's what I'm feeling, is a little tightness there. Okay. All right. I'm actually going to cut this piece off. I'm just going to cut that off and pretend that I've just glued my 2 lengths together. I've got this here, that there. I'm just going to bend that over. Just like that. Okay. All right. And I think that will work. Okay. That's the easiest way, and if this doesn't work, then I'm going to grab my 2 more pieces and redo it. Easiest way. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to take your 2 pieces 2 inches wide, glue them end to end, and then just fold over on the edges where you need it. Okay. All right, so let's slide this on one end here. There we go. And slide it all the way in. Now bring this one in And it should be able to slide over both of these. Okay. Just like that. Okay. That should hold it shut. And close this. Tie our little ribbon here. All right. I think the other piece probably would have been long enough. Oh yeah. The other piece would have been long enough. So I'm just going to trim that. Burn it. There we go. All right. So this is what we got. A flip. This slides. Opens here. You got your flips on each side, your pocket, and your flip up. Perfect. And close this back up and slide it. Yeah, definitely for this slider, just take two pieces and slide them end to end. And oh, now you're not going to want to slide for me. There we go. Just glue them end to end and then fold it to get your thing. All right. So that's that. Perfect. All right, so now I've been working on some things for the display. I wanted this window because I'm going to put a display in here. I'm going to show you some of the things I've gathered and I've made, and I'll explain how I made them. So I have a little box of goodies here. Now, this bench is what started the whole thing. This is just a little metal bench with dragonflies on the back. And it's what started everything. So that is going to go about in here. I then went out, got a little log, and I cut some little wafers. And these, and you can do whatever size you want. I have a bandsaw, but you could also use a miter box, or maybe know somebody that can cut you down some of your own. These aren't very thick. I wanted them thin. They're 1/4 of an inch wafers, and they're about inch and 5/8 wide. I mean, it's wood. So, and I'm going to put those in here, so like this. Like a garden walkway. I also created this little bird bath. Now I took 3 of my shells, different sizes, and I just carefully hot glued just the edges together so that they, you know, are in a nice line. I mean, it goes back a little bit, but I had to do that in order for it to adhere. I then took my glossy accents, and I did paint some blue in there on each one, and then I put my glossy accents, and I did it in layers. And then what I started doing was having it drip down to the next layer so it looks like a waterfall. And it took a long time because I had to wait for each one to dry, and I'd do a little thin line, and it does hold up. This is an older bottle, so it was extra thicker, which was kind of nice. It worked a little better than the fresh bottle I have, because the fresh bottle still wanted to drip because of the gravity. So this is what I ended up with. Now I have a couple choices here. I have this starfish that I got in Florida, and that will hold this up in the air, kind of like that. Whoops. To give it some height. But it takes up so much room. I also have this shell here that I thought might work to help hold it up, because I don't think I want it just sitting on the board. I'm just not sure. I also created this little birdhouse out of an acorn. If you can see that. What I did is I took just one of your little skewers, like your grocery store skewers, like you'd use for your meat and vegetables and stuff, and I took an acorn, and it was not easy, but I did get a hole drilled in it, and then I of course glued the cap back on, and then I took floral tape and I wrapped it around, and then I took the little stems I get from my roses. These are from wish.com, and they're on a wire stem, so when I snip that off to glue these on, I have all these little pieces of wire. So what I did was I just wrapped some of those wires around there to look like vine, and then I cut out these tiny leaves with my Cricut, strictly because I don't have a tiny leaf punch. And then I just glued these on so it looks like a vine climbing up. So that's going to go in here. And then I made this cute little rose topiary. This is a pot from Hobby Lobby. They come, I think, 5 or 6 in a pack for, I don't know, a couple bucks or something. It's not a bad price. So I created this with these roses from Wish, and it's just on a little styrofoam ball, and I just kept gluing them. And I think that's going to go in there. And I know this is hard angle for you. And then I also created these little mushrooms. I pulled a stick from my yard and I just snipped it down and glued the acorn caps to it. So, and then I have a little gazing ball. Took a marble from the Dollar Tree and I just wrapped the wire around it, and then I made a curl at the bottom of the base so it has something to glue down to. Now this little piece here is a piece of just galvanized wire, and it's got a hook down here, and I just created a hook and I kind of made it like a sweeping hook here, and then created a bottom with another hook going the opposite direction. I believe I'm going to make this into a swing and then have a little swing hanging from this front hook here. So these are all the elements we're going to glue in there. I also got this green moss from Hobby Lobby, and that's what's going to be the base. So we can glue this bench and stuff in now. Let's get started on that, I think. And I know it's not easy. I think I'm going to turn it this way so it's easier for me, I think. There we go. I've got to make sure that I'm not too close to that. Oops, sorry, I pushed you out of the way. There, okay. I got to make sure that I don't get it too close to my things when they're in. When this is up and squared, I got to make sure that everything still fits in there centered, so it's not interfering with those. And I think I can glue that. So I'm going to make some marks with my pencil for this bench. I'm going to lift this up and see what kind of view I got there. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hold this down. I'm just going to make some little marks where I have to put, if I put my hot glue gun actually on that metal, it's going to seize up too fast and it's not going to hold things in place. And I could use E6000s, but it takes so long to dry. So there, I've got those marks. And this little bench here is just, what are you? The widest point's like 6 inches, and it's about 4 inches high. So let's get this glued in. I'm going to put some dollops there. And we're going to be gluing the moss and stuff down around it too. Oops, not there. So that will help hold things in too. All right, see, and that's seized up on that metal that quick already. So hopefully we're good here. Yep, okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and get the stepping stones in. I think we want those. There was another one here too. I don't know if that was thinner. Yeah, that one's a little bit thinner. Okay, let's see here. And then that swing, I'm not sure where I want that either. It's kind of, I'm going to pull this back up again so I don't have that interfering. And I think I want to have it off to the side. I don't want it right in the middle of that bench. Okay. So maybe like that. Let me put this up. Pull this side up. Yep, that looks pretty good. Trying to hold it at the same time. And then there, is that good? Okay. So I'm going to kind of make a circle around this a second. Get an idea of where I want it. Okay. Yeah, that will be cute. It'll be right in the walkway though. All right. All right, we're going to wait on that a second. We've got a birdhouse here. So let's go maybe put that right behind the bench there. Or should we put the topiary behind the bench? Nope, that won't go there. I think that's going to have to go here. Like so. Let me lift and look here. And I am going to, even though the top holds this closed real good, I think because of the weight, I'm going to add some ribbon on the outside before we... All right, so I think that's a good spot for that. So let's go ahead and just get a good dabadoo, good dab of glue right there. And we're just going to set that pot right in there. Like I said, I'm not worried about this, how it is excess, because we're going to get moss and stuff on there too, around everything. And I actually might do the moss before I put the bricks on. Alrighty. Wonder if I use just another piece of wood. I just kind of wanted the waterfall up a little bit. That's why I thought that might be cute. Shell. Well, that would be cute to leave that open and then maybe find a little tiny frog or something to sit in there. That would be cute. So I'll try to do that. All right, so I'm going to hot glue this to that. And we'll leave that open. So maybe we can get a frog, little frog or something, and put that inside there. All right, let's see here. I'll probably have to put some E6000s on there too, but let's see what we can get with just the hot glue first, okay? Just like that. Nice and I want it to kind of look level. There we go. And then when I glue it down, so there. So my hot glue is kind of dripping there. Let me see here. Ooh. Okay. All right. So that's glued on there. All right, so let's go ahead and lay some moss in here. So then I can put this on top of that moss. And I'm not sure if I'll be even able to get this little swing in here. I might have to do it from a different angle there. Maybe over that way. Because I do definitely want my waterfall in here visible. Maybe we can put the waterfall right over top of that. All right, let's get some moss in here. And get some of that glue down here so we can set that in there. And I put it in a Ziploc bag because I figured that would be easier. And I'm hoping that this, I'm just going to lay some glue down and press this into it. Okay. want it to hold good. And I'll be able to pull any loose stuff back out of there. Pretty sure. I just thought this would be the best, and this is, I don't know if I said or not, but it is from Hobby Lobby. And this should hold its color. Pretty good. I don't need it thick. And when I glue the other things on, I can always add more moss around the feet so it's not showing and stuff too. All right, let me see if I got enough to get my stepping stones on there. Maybe I only need 2 of those. Maybe 2. Yeah, let's just go with 2. I think 2 will be enough. I'll put a good dab of glue on there and press it down in. Let that drip right down in there. Okay. When I get these parts done, and then I can show you through the window too what I see then too. I'll press this one down. I'm going to try to get that glue down through that moss into the main part of the box there. Now you could do anything in the center of these boxes if you want. I just fell in love with that little bench. I thought, oh, that would make such a cute display in a little fairy garden. And then I got the fairy garden paper, or fairy paper from Graphic 45, and I thought, well, that's a perfect match. I'm going to bring some in here, like that, right around that pitch. Okay, there we go. Okay. And we'll have some glue strings as usual to try to remove, so. And this might be a little longer video today than what I had planned, but I've been gathering these things together and trying to figure out how I wanted to do it, and they're time consuming, so to do everything in the video with you, it's almost impossible. So that's why, so if you have any questions, I will try to answer them to help you out, but it just gets I'm just using this to kind of press that moss down in there a bit. Like I said, there's some loose stuff here, and we'll get that out of there when we're all done. And I'm staying about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge there. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. Okay. I'll move this bag here a little bit. T's messy. But I wanted to do the book parts first because then I know exactly where I can put the other things. I was afraid if I did this first, then I would not be able to, whoopsie, I think I'm going to have to bring this in here. There we go. I think I'm going to have to turn it so I can get this back side here. All right, let's press that. I have everything glued to me. There we go. Let me spin this so I can get a better angle to that other thing here. All right. Let's bring this up here. I'm just gonna turn it around just like that so I can get to the back part of that. Here we go, you're still in view. Okay. Nice here. Okay. And you get, I mean, you get quite a bit of this moss in a bag. And you go quite a ways. Okay. These little logs are working good as protecting my fingers here. Get in there. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and put some glue in here on the back side of that pot there. There we go. Looks good. Got some little smaller pieces here. Get those in there. Okay. So I'm trying to stay within the edge a little bit. All right, get some more. Little piece here. I'm going to come in here and do this. All right, just put the glue stick in there. I'll do this piece right here. Okay. All right. Lighter. Most of this stuff we can get off these little pieces here. And the nice thing about the black is it helps disguise underneath if you're missing some little spots there. And a little bundle of small pieces here. Let's use those right here. Perfect. All right. Another piece here. Come in and do this corner here. Take this, press that down. bring some glue strings up. It's no big deal. And it looks like we just got this small area right here for right now. Right in here. Okay. Get some other little pieces here. Brush it down. And right behind this bench, I just have a tiny place by this other foot here. And we are pretty much covered for right this second. Let's see what happens when we glue on our other pieces. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. All right. And this stuff is all dried, so it's not going to have any moisture or anything that's going to damage your paper. So everything's dried. All right, so now let's see if we can get our bird bath in there. And I'm actually going to spin this back around so I get a better view of it again. All right, let's bring this in, and spin you all the way around. Whoops. There we go. All right. So I think I want my little, I think that'll balance out this little size of this here. So let's go ahead and put good amount of glue to hold this shell down. There we go. That's a good puddle. And then I'm gonna see if I can find just a little tiny frog to put inside of there. I think that will be cute. It'll be very tiny though. It's only about a 1-inch opening. All right. Big glue string there. Okay. All right. Let me see through my window here. Oh my goodness. So cute. Now let's get some of these mushrooms in here. I thought I had 5 of them. Let me get a birdhouse. I got 5 mushrooms. Let's do our birdhouse back here behind the bench. Oops, look at one of my leaves has fallen off there. Okay, let me put that back on. I got a glue string attached to me. There we go. Whoa, glue drip. All right. My little leaves fell off here. Okay. There we go. And I think that will be cute back here. Behind the bird. Let me see if I can figure out that. Can I get this in there still? What if it comes from here? Oh, yeah, maybe. Let me see. Or it comes from here. Yeah. Whoopsie. Then it's not in the way. Behind the bench, maybe. I'm just looking different angles here to see what's going to be best. I'm thinking, oops, I'm knocking off some more leaves. Can be more gentle. Let's go from behind the bench with this. Let me see if I've got room. Okay, I do. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to glue this right behind that bench there. So I'm going to put big. Good sized dollop of glue there. Got my glue squeezed out so good that it, all right. So now I need some moss to put on top of that. All right. Because wants to come through and get me. Where's that little? All right, I'm going to hold that down. Okay. Okay. Oopsie. I slid it. I wonder if it'll stay there. And hold that for a second. And then that swing can be right on there. And I think the swing I'm going to make out of some wood piece. Had glue drip in there. All right. Let's get a few mushrooms here. All right. I'll do a couple mushrooms on this end here. All right. Got the mushroom there. And I want some mushrooms over here, maybe. Okay. I'll put some mushrooms right in here. And we'll go back in and cover that glue with some moss once we get these set. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. Trying to hold those little caps there. Maybe I can get set that there to hold that up there a second. Here we go. I think we'll put number 3 in that same spot there. Okay. Number 3. All right. And I know it's hard to see. I'll make sure I turn it here and just as soon as I can to let you get a good view of it. All right, oops, nope, not dry yet. Get you back up there. Okay. All right, see here. So I think I'm going to get the birdhouse in there. I think it's a cute little garden. And what I'm doing is every time I'm lifting up my window to see what my view is. Okay. All right, let's see, are you dry now? Nope, not yet. Boy, you still just don't want to dry yet. Okay, I'm going to just let that be, let that dry, and I think I'm going to put the little birdhouse right there. And believe it or not, we're just about done with that. Okay. And I want it so that the little, I think it'd be a pretty little garden to visit. Let's see here. Get some moss here. Around there. That might take quite a bit to get that to stand up. Get a good hunk of moss. Get behind there to help support that, I think, right there, like that. Probably should have glued a little piece of cardstock or something to the base of this and let that dry up. I would have made that more stable, I think. But let's see if these are dry now. Okay. Lots of lovely blue strings. All right. Kind of fall a little bit. As long as I keep an eye on it, once it sets, it should be all right. All right, I'm going to get some moss around these little mushrooms here to help hold them in better. Doing pretty good here. Let me see. Just a little bit. All right. Yeah, I tried to think of other materials that might look good in here. And I just thought this moss was the best option. It just looks like something you'd see in a dense forest where you might just like that. Looks like he's standing up pretty good. All right. Okay, let me see what we got here. Let's see if I can get my cap back on, and then I'll lift this up and show you what it looks like so far. Let me bring this, I'm just going to bring this towards me a second so I can hold it while I get the lid on. I know it's out of your view, but only for a second. Only for a second. All right, so here's what we got so far. You see that? So that's what it looks like in the window, through the window. So now I'm going to take the cover back off, and then I'm going to turn it so you can see that. Okay, so this is the scene of the fairy garden. Oh, I think it's cute. I think it's really cute. Okay, so that is our video for today. When we come back, we'll start decorating. I have one more special surprise that I'm going to create for this project that I think will just even send it even more over the top of so I hope you like my videos, and if you do, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe, please hit that bell so you can be notified each time a new video is uploaded. I do other videos, so please check out my channel, Dream of Crafts. And a thumbs up are always appreciated. So until the next time we get together, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.